Hello, my name is Sofia Abetova. I am lecturer of international business, and today our theme is analysis of foreign markets and penetration strategies. Let's start. The purpose of our lesson are to characterize the main methods of foreign markets analysis and to give a description of the penetration methods into foreign market. We have 3 questions today. They are the analysis of alternative foreign markets, evaluation of costs, revenues and risks. Second one is choice of penetration method, and third one is the main strategies of penetration into foreign markets. Key concepts are strategy, tactics, research and development, the strategy of ant, strategy dragonfly and the strategy of rake. Okay. First question is the analysis of alternative foreign markets, evaluation of costs, revenues and risks. The international company's strategic goal is to increase market share, revenue and profit growth. To achieve this, the company must evaluation of alternative markets, assess the costs, benefits and risks of entering the market, choose a strategy of penetration into these markets. Evaluation of alternative foreign markets involves the analysis of a number of factors that may affect the efficiency of the company in this market. These include the current and potential size of the market, the structural characteristics of the national commodity market, the level of competition, the legal and political environment, and socio-cultural factors. These factors are summarized in the table. Look. For example, if we speak about the size of market, we should analyze determination of the size of the market in real terms and the cost of sales. If we speak about main differences of the market, we think about determination of the main differences in parameters such as customer profile, price level, especially procurement, design features of products. Factors are in table: analysis of competitors' activity, potential target markets, and relevant trends, historical and projected. We can think about changes taking place in the market. For example, we should think about analysis of the reasons for the profit or loss of domestic and foreign companies, analysis the general reasons for the recorded changes, changes in the product life cycle, changes in the general directions of business or the nature of demand. We should think about success factor. What it means? We should identify of success factors in this business environment. We need identification of pain points in this business environment and analysis of their impact on the reduction of market share, and like this. And after it, we should choose alternative strategies, identification of elements of the country's entry strategy, and the need for additional information to identify alternative entry options. The next step in the process of assessing foreign markets is the analysis of costs, revenues, and risks of doing business. When assessing the costs associated with doing business in foreign markets, it is necessary to determine the projected amount of direct and hidden costs. Direct costs include the cost of starting a business, for example, the cost of renting or purchasing production and service facilities, the transfer of managers from headquarters, and the transportation of equipment and goods. In estimating costs, the company may face a loss of profits. The company has limited resources. Penetration into one market can prevent penetration into the second, no less favorable market. The lost profit or opportunity cost is the profit that the company could gain in the second market. In this case, the company completely or temporarily loses the opportunity to make a profit, distracted by another market. The analysis of the revenues that the company intends to receive consists in assessing the potential benefits of penetration into foreign markets. These benefits include lower acquisition costs, lower production costs, maybe low cost of materials and labor, the ability to prevent competitors from entering the market, competitive advantage, access to advanced technologies, the ability to achieve synergies. Risk assessment involves analysis of such types of risks as currency fluctuations, political instability, etc. A thorough analysis of these factors allows to detect and use favorable opportunities for doing business. An unsatisfactory assessment of the potential of the target market can lead to the loss of these opportunities or, at the very least, threaten the very existence of the company. It's very bad, yes? Second question is the choice of penetration method. The choice of the method of penetration or entry mode requires careful study of the inherent advantages of this company. The methods of penetration are export, international licensing, international franchising, special methods like contract manufacturing, management contract, construction and equipment of turnkey facilities, and foreign direct investment. Let me discuss it. The dialectic theory of Dunning involves the analysis of three factors that determine the choice of the method of penetration: the advantages of owning valuable assets, the advantages of placement, and the advantages of internationalization of operation. Other factors to be considered include the need to monitor the performance of subsidiaries, the availability of resources, and the company's international strategy. Advantages of possession of valuable assets, ownership advantages, caused by presence in property of the company of material and intangible resources, which represent to this company competitive advantage over other company of the same profile. The choice of the method of penetration depends on the nature of the competitive advantage due to the possession of valuable assets. For example, the best way to penetrate a company that has valuable production technologies is to organize subsidiaries. Yes? The optimal way to penetrate a company with a well-known brand will be licensing or franchising, like Coca-Cola or McDonald's, for example. Advantages of capacity allocation, location advantages, is the advantages due to the factors that determine the preferred location of production in the host country compared to their country. When determining the optimal location for production facilities, the company should conduct a comparative analysis of the economic and non-economic characteristics of the domestic and foreign markets. If the domestic market of the company is preferred, it is advisable to enter the foreign market by exporting goods. Yes? In case of preference of the foreign market, the company can invest in foreign capacity, sell licenses for the use of technology and trademark to local manufacturers. The choice of location of production facilities is influenced by political, economic, social, cultural, and technological factors. Advantages from internalization of operation, internalization advantages, are the advantages caused by preference of production of goods and services by forces of the company instead of the conclusion of contracts with other companies for performance of the corresponding works. Transaction costs, it means costs of negotiating, monitoring, and implementing agreements, are critical for decision-making and degree of internalization. At a high level of costs, the company can use foreign direct investments and creation of joint ventures. At a low level, company can use franchising, licensing, or contract manufacturing. In addition, the nature of the benefits of owning valuable assets and the ability to guarantee effective relationships with the local firm with which it plans to do business should be thoroughly analyzed by the company. Okay, first way to penetrate is export. Main advantages of export you can see in this table. And main disadvantages you can see here too. So let me speak about this export. Export is the easiest way to internationalize a domestic company and the most common form of international business. The motives for starting export activities are divided into two types: proactive and reactive. Proactive motivations are motivations that encourage the company to enter foreign markets because of the business opportunities in these markets. Proactive motives ensure higher competitiveness in the future. Reactive motives are motives that encourage the company to enter foreign markets as a result of reduced business opportunities in the domestic market. For example, falling demand. Forms of export are indirect export, direct export, and intercorporate exchange of goods or services. Indirect export is the sale of goods to a domestic customer who in turn export these goods to foreign markets either in their original form or in a modified form. The activity of companies in the sphere of indirect export has a number of disadvantages. Lack of experience in the international market, limiting the possibility of profit. Therefore, indirect exports are in most cases not part of the company's internalization strategy. Direct export, sale of goods directly to customers, distributors or end users located outside the home country of the company. The company carries out careful selection of production which it intends to export, the foreign markets and methods of sale. Direct export allows the company to gain valuable experience in international operations, to raise awareness about the conditions of doing business, and to use new export opportunities. Intracorporate exchange of goods or services, or sometimes it can be called intracorporate transfer, is a sale of goods to a company located in one country, its subsidiaries located in other countries. Yes, this form of export allows companies to use production capacities more effectively, both in domestic and foreign markets. Distribution of goods can be carried out in two ways: organization of own distribution networks in key markets or search for a local distributor. The cost of establishing and maintaining their own distribution networks are offset by two important advantages. First one is the ability to generate additional revenue, and second one is the ability to exercise control. The choice of the local distributor depends on the experience, availability of resources, capital, labor, production capacity, reputation of the local market, and contractual terms, amount of payment for services, methods of doing business, pricing, strategy, etc. Export can use the services of intermediaries, specializing in the implementation of export-import operation. There are following types of intermediary firms: export management companies, export associations of Web Pomeranian, and international trading companies, etc. Export Management Company, EMC, is a company that acts as an export department of the client. EMC can use two methods of operation: to act as agent in relation to the exporter, it means transportation of goods, customs clearance, registration of the relevant documents, or to act on the rights of ownership of the goods, the purchase of goods from exporters, resale of goods at a higher price, promotional activities. Web Pomeranian Export Association is a group of American companies that operate within the same industry and that, in accordance with the law, have the right to coordinate their export operation. The association is engaged in market research, promotion of goods to the market, cargo consolidation, negotiation, and export. The International Trading Company is a company which is directly engaged in import and export of the wide range of goods at the expense of own means. An international trading company provides a full range of service. The competitive advantage of the company is the possession of information about the economic conditions and potential business opportunities. Examples of such companies are Japanese company Sogo Sosha, as part of the Japanese system Keiritsu. The company, having its divisions in the most remote corners of the world, has valuable information about the economic condition and potential business opportunities in the whole countries of the world. As a part of Keiritsu, the company has free access to financing through the central bank Keiritsu, as well as to the internal segment of consumers using the services of companies that are part of Keiritsu. The presence of such a customer base reduced the cost of Sogo Sosha to attract customers, increases the volume of business operation, makes it possible to obtain economies of scale. There are the 5 largest Sogos Sosha. It's a Mitsubishi Corporation. You can see their principal subsidiaries and affiliated companies are very different, yes? It's Kirin Brewery about alcohol beverage, the Mitsubishi Bank, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, Mitsubishi Motor Corporation, Nikon Corporation, the Tokyo Marine and Fire Insurance, like this. Mitsu and Company, it's Japan Steel Works, Mitsu Construction Company, Mitsukoshi Limited, Sakura Bank, and many others. Third one is Itochu Corporation, American Isuzu Motors Wholesale, Century 21st Real Estate of Japan Limited, Real Estate Brokerage Services, Mazda Motor of America, and Time Warner Entertainment of Japan, Videosat, like this, yes. Fourth is Sumitomo Group, Asahi Breweries, alcohol beverage, yes, NEC Corporation, Sumitomo Coal, and many others. And Marubeni, it's a different firm, you can see it. Archer Pipe and Tube Company, they sale of steel pipes. And Bactec Corporation, Insectidis, yes, grain trade, meat processing, Precision Tools Service, many different companies in this Sogos Sosha, yes. Other types of export intermediaries offering specialized services include sales agent industrial companies, or we can call it manufacturers agents, is engaged in search of orders from domestic customers in exchange for commission fees. Export agents of industrial companies, manufacturers export agents, act as foreign export divisions of domestic industrial companies, selling their products on foreign markets. Brokers for export-import transaction, or we can say export and import brokers, act as intermediaries in transaction between international companies for the purchase and sale of standardized consumer goods such as coffee, tea, cocoa, and grain. Transport and export agency, Fracht Forwarders, act as the organization of transportation of export-import cargoes, customs clearance, and attract customers to the provision of transport services. Second way to penetrate to foreign market is licensing. Licensing is agreement in accordance with the conditions with which a firm, the licensor, sells to another company, the licensee, the right to use their intellectual property in exchange for royalty payments. You can see main advantages and main disadvantages of this type of penetrate. Okay. Licensing is useful in situation where high tariff and non-tariff restriction are imposed in the countries where the company plans to enter, as well as restriction on foreign direct investment or repatriation of profits. Licensing is not appropriate in countries that do not protect intellectual property rights. Yes. Third way is franchising. International franchising is a special form of licensing that grants an independent entrepreneur of company, franchisee, the right to conduct business under the name of another entrepreneur of company, franchisor, in exchange for payment or remuneration. You can see main advantages and main disadvantages in this table. Okay. Unlike the licensor, the franchisor provides more powerful support to its franchisees. The franchisor provides its franchisees with a trademark, technology, product with a good reputation, as well as provides services for the organization of an advertising maybe company, yes, training, development of quality assurance programs for goods and services. The conditions for successful international franchising are successful operation of the franchisor in the domestic market due to the uniqueness of the product and effective methods of work. The possibility of transferring the success factors in foreign markets. and successful franchising activities in the domestic market. Franchising agreements are set out in the form of formal contracts, which stipulate the terms of business, receive a fixed remuneration plus royalties for the right to use the franchisor trade name, trademark and technology, compliance with the requirements of the franchisor regarding the business plan operations and reporting, types of assistance provided by the franchisor to its franchisee, etc. 3 ways of penetration are contract manufacturing, management contract, and contract for construction of turnkey facilities, turnkey contract. You can see main advantages and main disadvantages in this table. Okay. Next. The penetration strategies discussed above, export licensing, franchising, and specialized strategies allow companies to internationalize their activities without investing in enterprises and production facilities abroad. Next way to penetrate is foreign direct investments, FDI. Yes, you can see main advantages and main disadvantages. Foreign direct investments are investment in foreign companies to exercise strict control over the property and assets of these companies and to expand the potential for profit. There are 3 types of foreign direct investments. They are construction of new enterprises, acquisition of existing enterprises, and participation in joint ventures. The strategy of construction of new enterprises or the strategy of greenfield strategy, is a form of foreign direct investment which involves the construction of new production facilities. This strategy includes the purchase or lease of land, the construction of facilities, and the hiring of transfer of managers and other personnel and commissioning. You can see advantages and disadvantages of this strategy in the table. Yes, advantages, for example, is creation of new job, the possibility of choosing the optimal location of production facilities equipped with modern equipment, introduce new technologies, and etc. And disadvantages are high cost and unavailability of land, training of employees to perform their duties at the required level of efficiency, maybe a negative attitude of the local population to the presence of foreign companies. So you should think about this when you start your greenfield strategy, for example. The strategy of acquisition of existing enterprises involves the purchase of an existing enterprise. The main motive of using this strategy is to gain control of the enterprise, personnel, technology, trademarks, and distribution networks. The acquisition strategy does not require an increase in production capacity, which is an advantage in terms of excess production capacity. Joint ventures involve the creation by 2 or more companies of a new enterprise that would be legally independent of the parent companies. Joint ventures are granted the status of companies and are the property of the founding companies in the ratio agreed upon by the parent companies. Third question is the main strategies of penetration into foreign markets. International business strategies include 4 types of approaches. First one is scale-up strategy. That is the marketing of standard products and services worldwide. Second is the strategy which focuses on a rational approach to the activities of foreign affiliates, resources, financial support, R&D assistance are directed primarily to those foreign affiliates that operate most effectively regardless of the region of their activities. Third one is maximum independence of foreign branch in order to enable them to operate in accordance with the national characteristics of the host country and to meet promptly to the specifics of the demand of the main consumers. And fourth is harnessing the benefits of globalization with a broad diversification of products and services, with a view to accelerating the transfer of resources and the revitalizing of global markets in an enabling environment. In the process of developing a strategic plan for foreign business, economists of international companies take into account the experience of the largest international companies in the world markets, which indicates that the main factors for the success of the adopted strategy are leadership in technology, which is determined by innovations in production process and the development of new products. Both provide an opportunity for an international company to take a monopoly position of the world market for some time. Reputation, which is the presence of a well-known brand, makes it possible already at the first stage of entering the new market to receive increased profits. Economies of scale, most commonly used by large corporations for low-value, high-volume production. Awareness, raising to enable successful and efficient operations abroad, and high-quality products and services compared to competitors. A global manager who understands the international situation and is able to effectively operate a team of local specialists in the host country is a very important thing for international business. The main strategies for finding a foreign market are three. First one is a strategy of concentrated search of foreign markets, or strategy the ANT. While this strategy is a sequential search from one segment to the other, is and developed single market, then the next, etc., until it is composed of the optimal set of foreign markets, fruitful target market. This strategy of finding the target market involves the care and expertise in the selection of segments, usually eliminates errors of the development of new market territories, requires a significant investment, however, requires a certain slowness of obtaining results, like ANT, yes. The strategy of dispersed search of foreign markets, or the strategy of the dragonfly. This strategy is a trial and error method, where a firm tries to sell goods at once on as many foreign markets as possible, and then begins to leave those markets where trade is not going, thereby gradually reducing the number of foreign markets to a certain optimum, the most effective target market. In this case, the company significantly wins in time, may not have qualified personnel of the relevant profile, etc. However, its method is associated with significant costs and can damage the prestige of this company in those markets from which it has to leave because of the inability to master the market. The strategy of expanding the boundaries of the market, of the strategy of old product, new market. The firm maintains market activities in order to introduce existing products to new market, including overseas. It is envisaged to intensify entrepreneurial activity mainly through the development of new markets, the inclusion of the scope of the firm's new market segments, consumer group present in different countries, and etc. The strategy of active expansion, or the strategy of new product, new market, is the most dynamic and complex line of market behavior, requiring significant effort and cost of the part of the company, its management and staff. At the same time, it is the most common strategy of penetration and conquest of foreign markets. Strategies to conquer or expand foreign markets. It allows you to search for a market in previously uncovered foreign countries, showing the demand for new products, their types and models, a new range of products, search for new segments of the old foreign markets, also showing the demand for new products. Strategy of the laser beam. The development of foreign markets occurs by following markets from simple to more complicated when practicing the methods of implementation are available on the market. The strategy of offensive involves active, aggressive stance on the firm and mainly pursues the goal to conquer and expand market share and overseas market. The following strategies may be the types of offensive strategy. A is the strategy of stockpiling weapons. The firm is preparing an attack on foreign markets to cultivate and fulfills military technology for the development of the internal market. It conducts a thorough study of the business environment of the foreign market, its situation, the specifics of consumer requests, prepares appropriate personnel, etc. B is the strategy of conquest of the base. The company is in the preparatory market penetration interest of her country. Acquires distribution networks, storage facilities, collects primary information, creates joint ventures, etc. Strategy vice or surroundings. The firm takes attacking actions on a large number of markets on the approach to the markets of the main competitors. But the problem is that this strategy provides for a high level of internationalization of the firm. And D is the strategy of rake. The company is making active offensive and aggressive market actions in the market of its main competitors, taking them almost all the major segments off. This strategy can be called a strategy of global leadership, and it is common for leading international companies in the world. So, what I'd like to say you in conclusion, nobody immune from mistakes, and I'd like to show you some examples about it. Look, for example, this lasagna from Colgate. Once upon a time, a company known for the production of toothpaste decided to conquer the market of frozen semi-finished products. Only here people even didn't buy out test batch. Apparently felt some kind of trick maybe. So it was failed of this Colgate company. Coca-Cola Black is a blend of classic cola and coffee essence. You will not believe, but this drink somehow no one liked it. And in 2009 it was removed from production. Coke too, in new and improved according to the manufacturer's version of the classic cola, which in 1985 raised almost a riot of consumers demanding to return their old and deteriorated taste. It was returned very quickly. And this a mask against wrinkles, which fights against them with the help of weak discharges of current. Questions from hypothetical buyers were as follows. Is it necessary to tie a person when he or she is in a mask? Or is the cry of the problem? So you can open your international business, I think. I believe you will make it. Thank you. Bye.